There was a man with a feathered cap named Henri who lived in a cave with his loyal companion, a wolf named Harvey. Henri was an artist from the 17th century and spent his days painting the cave walls with beautiful depictions of the surrounding wilderness. Harvey, on the other hand, longed to be outside, running through the fields, skidding across the ice, scratching his nose on the ferns, and generally exploring the world. Every day, Henri would paint a new landscape on the cave wall, eventually filling the entire cave interior with vibrant colors and images of the rolling hills and soaring mountains. Harvey peeked over with envy, imagining what it would be like to see these places for himself. One day, Henri noticed Harvey's restlessness and decided to take him outside for a trot through the forest. Harvey was overjoyed, feeling the sunshine on his fur and the wind in his hair. He ran through the meadows, his paws pounding the earth, turning up divots of mud, as he explored every inch of the spring-thawing world around him. When they returned to the cave, Harvey refused to go back inside. He had tasted freedom and there was no turning back. Henri understood that the eye of the wolf had now glimpsed the Sealnick Wild, winking planets, and that there was no reversion to normalcy. With a heavy heart, he watched as Harvey ran off into the distance, chasing his dream and finding his place in the world. From that day on, Henri painted the landscape of the fields and hills, capturing the spirit of freedom that Harvey had found. Harvey roamed the world, discovering new adventures and living life to the fullest. He soon stood on edge as a strange owl pealed across the valley. He had never heard anything like it before, but was drawn to it inexorably. It was his long-lost brother, Johnson. They met up, circled each other for a few tense moments, then their hearts melted. Booping noses and licking each other's fur, they were reunited, having been torn asunder when orphaned by human hunters. Johnson escaped into a thicket. Harvey was not as lucky. He was dragged back to the human settlement where he was beaten daily by a drunken, angry man. This did not last long. A kinder, gentler soul took a shine to Harvey and bought him from the angry man and brought him to live in his remote cave in the boreal expanse. Knowing nothing else, being torn from his lupin family, Harvey took to his troglodyte lifestyle and grew very close to Henri. It was only now that he realized Henri was not a friend, but was trying to keep him from sparking the ferocious heart that lay within and which would bring about an end to humankind. Harvey bellowed with titanic rage, shaking the countryside. He would have his revenge on Henri. The pack gathered and quickly charged down the stream bed toward the cavern, where the rest would wait outside as Harvey entered to dispatch Henri once and for all. The slipping, sliding assemblage of teeth and fur tumbled past the cave entrance as Henri twisted perpendicular and dashed inside. He did not find a smug Henri ready to gloat at how he put one over the poor canine. Instead, Henri lay sick and dying, being heartbroken without his beloved companion. Harvey's tears froze like porcupine spines on his snout. His canine instincts now fled deep into his psyche, and his friendship for Henri came flooding back into his body. He tried to drag Henri outside so he could see the beautiful dark blue evening, with a dash of spring warmth in the air, just enough that he would not freeze. As he emerged with Henri, the other wolves descended on him to finish him off, in solidarity with Harvey. Harvey warned them off with the deepest, darkest growl. They knew what had happened. His dabble in the wild was just that, a dabble. His rumspringa, of sorts. He wanted nothing more than to take Henri back to the nearby village so that he might recover and they could live happily ever after. His brother and friends departed into the wild, promising that they would meet up every year in front of the cave.
If I needed someone to go, would you be the one to go? If I needed someone to stay, would you be the one to stay? Would you be the one to go? Would you be the one to know? If I needed someone to go,